Hey everybody. So I'm going to answer a few questions in these videos today. The first, there are a couple questions about sort of reviewing general concepts of reliabilism. I want to say a little bit more about that. So here's one person said, according to reliabilism, if a believer were to claim that a belief of hers was justified, would she have to know that the process by which she came to form that belief was reliable? And the answer is, according to the reliabiliist, to be justified is just to have that process be reliable. You don't have to know it. You don't have to know that it's reliable. So you can be justified in having that belief without knowing it. Another related question, somebody says, how is it possible to verify justification for reliable belief forming processes if an individual is not even explicitly aware of the function of their reliable belief forming processes? Again, this is one of the sort of maybe weird aspects of reliabilism, but the idea is you can't, sometimes you're justified and you can't verify it. It isn't possible to verify that you're justified because you aren't aware of it. Nonetheless, these reliabiliists think you can still be justified. So maybe it'll help for me to say a little bit about sort of reliabilism in a different way, coming at it from a different perspective. So think about tigers. I haven't watched Tiger King yet. Maybe some of you have, but I got tigers on my mind. Think about tigers. So we might think, look, a tiger has beliefs, and a tiger can have a justified belief that a deer is in front of it. But it's not the case that the tiger has to be able to reflect on its own beliefs or have access to the justification for that belief. It's just that the tiger has that belief and it's justified because it's formed by a reliable belief-forming process, in this case, perception. You might think the same is true of the deer that the tiger's hunting. It sees that there's a tiger hunting it. It believes that there's a tiger hunting it. It doesn't have to, and that belief's justified. It doesn't have to have sort of this this access to the justification. Reliabilists might think, look, we're animals, just like tigers, just like deer. We're animals too, and our belief-forming processes can be like the ones of other animals, and we're justified perhaps in the same way. Now that makes a lot of sense, I think, for things like perception and memory, which we seem to share with at least animals with pretty high cognitive functions. It may not be quite as obvious that extends to reasoning and introspection. So I think reasoning and introspection might be more particular to humans, or maybe humans and animals much more like us. But in any case, one way to think about reliabilism is it's trying to, I think, in maybe a more scientific or a way that puts us together with other organisms that are biologically like us. And in that case, we can see how our beliefs are justified in a similar way to how beliefs of tigers and deer are justified.